welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters coming to you live from Katowice. I am here in the packed out Spodek Arena and I found myself just a couple of ENCE fans and they've been giving me a lesson in how to correctly say this Finnish powerhouse's name. Janwi, you've been teaching me the ropes. How are we cheering for ENCE today?
In Finland we say ENCE, but ENCE is okay as well.
But I want to say it right. You need to teach me the Finnish way. Guys, should we have a practice? Should we do some chanting? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
ENCE! 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 I can feel the force right now, and I think these guys are a huge part of what is giving ENCE the charge that they need to go into this final map on Mirage. But why do you think that they've gathered such a huge audience, Janwi? I don't know. The guys are very likable, the whole Finnish team, and yeah, Finnish people like to support other Finnish people here.
And they've been so supportive, actually, of some of the other teams as well when ENCE haven't been playing. The question is, guys, what do you think the result's going to be? Well, I know what these guys think, but what do you guys think on the desk?
I think I'm going to struggle to call him ENCE, but I mean, we need to talk about this map. Thank you so much there, Frankie. Well, nothing makes sense. This is the semi-finals after all, and Counter-Strike has its fair share of surprises. ENCE go from looking fantastic on train, looking like the team truly better in the server, to go into Dust 2. High expectations and nothing to show from it. Sean, Chad, let's talk about this one.
That's a 9-map streak that's been snapped, huh?
Yeah, so nine consecutive maps.
And
unbeaten.
now that's the first one they've lost since they were down a map to big, and they were down 0-7 on that train game. Since then, it's just been all green. So this is the first time ENCE have had to deal with defeat in quite some time, and it was handed to them, right? They just got absolutely destroyed. They were bullied all across the map. It didn't really feel like rounds were even competitive. They were getting absolutely destroyed, and Alu was nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. Just 16 damage around.
That's what's so strange, is this is the same player, of course, just dominating on train and winning very risky rounds. We're praising him for this brazen style of Counter-Strike and how it was being rewarded. I guess this is the other side of the coin, is that this is still Na'Vi you're going up against. A bit of a brisk reminder.
Look, he was pushed around the map, right? The utility usage from Na'Vi was fantastic on their T side. Every angle that he was holding, he was pushed off of. And there was even a round where he had been pushed off short, had swung back towards middle. He's come for a repeak of a duel, gets flashed back, and now they have 3 players towards B. Simple comes out mid, kills everybody. They still lose the round on a mid to B with 3 players on that side. So just nothing went right for ENCE in that game. That's what we call it spanking.
There was just so many double entries coming out of Na'Vi, whether it be on Catwalk, at B, Outlong, it didn't matter. They were winning all of the entry duels. The one exception being that 4K that you saw Aerial hold on Catwalk, which honestly is quite lucky having an M4A1 that close range. So
standing on short.
Not much worked for ENCE's game. None of their star players really showed up. It was the exact opposite of the first map. But similarly, Na'Vi won both pistols yet again.
Yeah.
A pistol round. I think, yeah, if you're having a team talk backstage now, I think pistol round's probably the first thing the coach is going to shout at them.
Well, that's one of the hardest rounds, right? To just say, hey, can we just win this round? Because they're the coin toss round, and it's 50-50. You don't know what approach is going to come in here. Sure, it's even playing field in that one. But we spoke about that B bomb site getting exploded, Alex.
You got something for me?
Yeah, I do, because Hellraisers did a similar thing, and we can take a look at it. Na'Vi took a page out of their strat book. So first of all, I want to show you the utility usage from ENCE. So we're going to play this one out. Sergey, he's going to throw a Molotov from window, and he's going to follow that up with a HE to slow anybody down if they want to rush. Now, we're going to go over to a camera where we can see the whole bomb site any second. Now, what I want to point out is how good this setup actually is to stop a B rush. You don't have any eyes on middle. You have 2 players close B. You should be ready to stop a rush at any point. You've got your eyes straight on towards dark. This player can swing at any given time. He's looking towards middle, and if it's a mid to B, then Sergey can also jump up window and look to mid to B as well. So they have a good setup here early in the round to stop exactly this. But they didn't learn their lesson against Hellraisers. Let's play this out. You can see, as they enter through the tunnels, the Molotov's still there. Na'Vi don't respect the utility. They run in, Zeus gets 2 massive kills, and you could even see it from their side of things. Zeus sees the Molotov comes down, knows he can be more noisy in this regard. He's going to entry frag. He's giving his life away to be traded off of. Doesn't need to happen because he's playing out of his mind. 2 huge kills. That's the round done. When the round finishes in that regard, you're feeling like you have to save instantly.
But we've seen Edward and Zeus, 2 of the players that, when we talk about firepower in Na'Vi, we list the other 3 names.
Yeah.
We also outlined that, of course, Zeus is leadership and Edward the support player that could and has for years upon years. Both of them towards the top of the scoreboard and with impact as well.
Yeah, I mean, the clip Chad just showed, the star player Sergey is holding the tunnel angle with an AUG, and Zeus just deletes it.
Yeah.
That was insane.
It really was. It really was. And I think I'd love to keep talking about this, but we have another map to go. Dust 2 did go the way of Na'Vi, and up next is Mirage. We're going to be seeing how this one shapes up, gents. So let's talk about it. Now, Mirage is a map that everyone is thinking, this looks good for Na'Vi. Can you explain why?
Yeah, I mean, Simple's just so good at rotating around. Honestly, he's good at backing Zeus up in the B site when B hits occur. He's very good at being at ticket when A hits occur. He's good at reading where hits are happening, and he's always at the right sites, which helps them a lot.
They can get a little trigger happy. And I know it's just over there, Alex, but I want to throw this one in for everybody if we can. Can we do it?
Make it quick.
All right, I can make it quick because this is an example of when they try and help Zeus over towards this B bomb site and it all goes wrong. So you can see the setup right here. We can see that it's ready to throw B execute smoke. Flamey's actually AWPing deep B and Zeus is towards Cat, but they're trigger happy. So they rotate. Simple's rotated. Edward played quite aggressively and he died just here. Now this round is going to go to Vitality, but you can see how quick they rotate to help Zeus, and that could be a problem.
So you're suggesting that the weakness you could exploit is that you're expecting other teams to try and exploit Zeus.
Yes.
That's, I mean, we're playing 4D chess for sure.
Well, ENCE have fast anti-ecos over towards that B bomb site. They do those exact same smokes on the run, and they actually attack that bomb site a lot. But I actually feel that Electronic over towards A is going to have a lot of work to do on his hands because we've seen ENCE with some fast A strategies, especially in their last series, and Electronic has been having an average series. He needs to put up some big numbers if Na'Vi want to take this one.
Something that I saw, in particular, ENCE do against Liquid was they ran out A before the smokes were even thrown. So it's an A execute, but they're out of ramp before the smokes even come over the wall, but they're exploding as, you know, they're crossing sandwich. So it's a very explosive shot to deal with, and you don't have time to counter nade.
And a good sign for ENCE is that Ariel's having a good game. If I remember rightly on that Mirage game, he did a fantastic job of entering into that bomb site. So you need to be gun on if you're the players from Na'Vi. You need to be ready. You can't be playing the smoke molly defense, because if you do that and they run out like Sean's saying, you're caught with a nade in your hand and that's the round gone.
Yeah, and Aloe, of course. I mean, it goes without saying. We need Train Aloe. We don't need Dust 2 Aloe if you want a chance to make an impact here. Wow, this is really happening. ENCE Na'Vi, one single map to determine it. Who do you have for this, guys? I mean, I'm forcing an answer out of you now.
I'm the big bad wolf. I'm sticking with Na'Vi. That's where I was in the beginning. I just think they're a classier squad overall, and their individuals know how to, you know, get it done.
Okay, and Sean?
I have to side towards Na'Vi because, yeah, it's so difficult to deal with Simple on that CT side. I know that ENCE has a lot of success towards that A site, though, so it's kind of on Electronic to have a big game here.
Electronic has to be the stalwart champion on the CT side of Mirage. ENCE, they've got their fair share of tricks up their sleeve. Have they been able to dust off Dust? That's another question we'll be keeping our eyes on. This is a team that we have praised for being able to come back, though, from deficits. Let's not forget their run. They were 0-7 down, 1 map down, and they managed to overcome big. Then go on an 8-map win spree to the semi-finals. They have truly dominated their way to the semi-finals, now humbled on Dust 2. Mirage, our final map. It comes down to this. Thousands of fans in the stands, hundreds of thousands at home. 1 map, 1 chance, and 2 teams about to duke it out. They lock horns on Mirage. It's time to get in. 1 final map of our first semi-final here in Katowice.
And is that trophy just a distant mirage for ENCE? Have they been dreaming this whole time? Or is there a very real possibility that they'll play in the final tomorrow? It is all now for Na'Vi, for ENCE, and we do it on Mirage.
We certainly do. We'll kick things off. ENCE down on the T side here, and Edward, he's hunting for information here, looking towards the underpass for now. On the T side, they have 2 smokes and a Molotov, and currently holding up at any of these pushes from the CTs. Edward spots 1, no damage exchanged. And he'll fall back at least for a little bit towards that connector, but he's willing to challenge again considering he's got the USP. Bomb sits towards the A side of the map, and Sergey's in the Palace. He's getting right to the mouth of that position. Does he want to go any further?
Very passive on A. It's going to be a retake game. Simple's the only one there, has no utility, no kit. In fact, Zeus has gone for utility. He also doesn't have the kit, so there isn't one for Na'Vi. Interesting that they play so passively on A. without one. Retake will be a problem. Flamey seemingly lives up to his name and somehow gets across him without taking too much damage. He only goes down to 86. Zeus, defensive smoke early. Is it though? Might be perfect time because it's forced them back out toward middle. That's where Flamey catches one through the window. He also realizes X7 wants in from connector. And with damage coming from far, bullets landing from Palace, he's aware that there's one at the doorway, but he's not aware that they're already through the window behind him. Alexi's got Simple. This is a much better start for the Finns this time.
Great approach from them. Now player towards the window as well. There's timed it to perfection. Aerial with one frag already, but he can't find a second. 3 versus 2 now. No kits available for now, at least. There might be one on the floor for them, as Zeus will try and find a low HP X7.
There isn't. They didn't buy one. Zeus went for the utility. So they've got to go for time again. It was very passive on A without the final piece of equipment you really want to use in these situations. And in fact, they're just going to bail out now. They'll keep the armor. They'll keep Flash. They don't want to give anything further away to ENCE to build up their bank. And it goes already their way. 1-0 start. T-side. It's exactly what they need. And it comes from 3 kills spread out across 3 players. Alexi goes down with the bomb. He won't mind. Not one bit.
So Electronic, the fact he saves them suggests they are going to buy into this second round. Na'Vi have been doing this a lot throughout this tournament. They like to get the Deagles and Scouts out. They like to cause impact. And we'll see if it's enough to win this round. Number 2 coming in. ENCE will be aware of that, and you would assume they're going to present another slow default here. Is there a scout for Simple? Perhaps he has $2,000, goes for the Deagle. No armor, so he's looking at the bigger picture now. Can't be as stuck in as the others, but still with one Deagle, he's still able to find headshots. He just needs to position himself a little bit more passively. And we on towards our balcony, towards Palace. 4 players for ENCE outside the A bomb site. X7 watching for flanks from the B apartments and indeed top of middle. They'll hold up and see if they can get any sort of read on the situation first. They do not have to overcommit here. They want to use all their grenades when they finally do head towards the A site, which looks likely right now. And Alu, nice position. Just having a look towards the bomb site and see if he can get anyone spotted.
The open position. 1 up, 1 down, both turn now, but X7 gets the shot immediately to Edward, and Flamey can't do anything about it. So 1 and done, they back off over toward A instead. Electronic to try and hold. Simple hopes desperately that they will not look in his direction. But he's got to be careful at the door. He wants them to walk in A main, but Sergey could just walk out and take him down. In fact, look at Ariel. He's still looking into the corner, still from Sandwich. Simple again. Similarly, this time not blind to how fast he was on Train and Ivy. He hits a shot before they can even get one in his direction. In return, it may not matter, just as it didn't in that round, because Ariel gets Zeus. Bomb to go down, Flamey. And from app away.
Couldn't really ask for more from ENCE in that particular round. They were disciplined, they were methodical, they held up, and so they got a bit of information. They commit towards that A side. Sure, Simple gets a crazy 1D. That's always going to happen. You can't really do much to avoid that. But that's all they give away, and that's absolutely fine. That was a force buy from Na'Vi as well. This actually leads to a 3-0 lead. ENCE are comfortable in this round, and they're hunting for the final player. They don't necessarily have to find him. He'll have Deagle Arm in the next round. That's not a big deal, really. The rest of them, though, can't afford much at all. Simple didn't fully invest, as we mentioned. So we'll take another eco and look to get the AWP out in the 4th round. Flamey will survive, and ENCE will keep 4 up as well. 3 kills for Ariel. Really impressive performance from him on the T-side of Trade. Managed to close that one out. Dust 2 was a completely different affair. No one stood out on the ENCE side whatsoever. But 3-0 pretty much locked in at this point. Here's the replay of Ariel looking so calm with the AK. Great stuff from him.
It's more like it. He was the only player that had a round really dominated.
Indeed.
With the 4 kills on Cat, and he finished on 13 kills. So at least there was some, I guess you could call it, consistency in his performance, given that no one else was fragging. If he can keep going this map as well, and if ENCE can continue forward with the momentum. A fantastic position. Knowing well there won't be weapons. They leave the bomb in spawn. And they'll play for picks, wait for a response from Na'Vi. Utility toward A. 2 default smokes on jungle and stairs. No one's gone back for the bomb yet. In fact, Might want to consider doing it because Ariel and X7 want to take connector instead. Sergey's going to go. He'll be the one. Damage on to Simple. He goes down to 14. But he also thwarts them. Zeus. Did X7, he got there. X7 watches it, but he's late. He doesn't know that Zeus is out. They're not gonna have any idea that he's sneaking in behind them. I don't think he's gonna get there in time though, because they're already on top of the site. Electronic and Flamey are gonna have to do something to delay the bomb plant to give Zeus any chance, so that's why Electronic decides to go aggressive. And Zeus goes toward Palace. Alu's sitting immediately in front of him at the doorway. Bomb is still not down. If he can get a gun from this, it could be everything. He gets caught off though. Only one. Electronic found one on the other side, but Ariel now holds off on the vent. And any threat that once materialized is now diminished because it's bomb and smoke in the way.
Na'Vi are always going to be dangerous in any and every round, to be honest, and they won't be winning this one, but they've made it expensive. You are right, there's a chance they can pull this one back, but that should settle things down. Electronic without the kit, probably there's no chance here, unless he gets a quick one there.
It's going to be tight. 10 seconds, I think he's got this.
I think you might be right.
He's gonna pull it off, that's unbelievable. They actually did get it back and it wasn't on the flank. Electronic with 3 kills. Oh, this is still tight, but he's just barely got it.
That's insane. Essentially a full eco. I didn't think he'd challenge that. You know he hasn't got a kit there. You just gotta hot that corner and just time it out, but nerves setting in. It's a great play from Na'Vi. The Zeus flank, I thought wouldn't bloom to much at all. But it's a round where they're full eco. They managed to post their first on the board. That's massive for Na'Vi. My goodness, ENCE. They still have enough for a buy, but still, that's crushing for them.
And the quiet detail, just the aggression while they were waiting for Zeus on the flank. If they had conceded and fallen back and said, all right, we'll just play a retake, the bomb would have gone down way sooner. They would have had no chance on it. They bought themselves time.
Unbelievable. Simple. AWP, they've got plenty of cash now after winning an eco, remember. AKs across the board for ENCE. Can they keep their heads up here? Good grenade does decent damage. They're going to push quickly towards B, but the incendiary pushes them back, actually. They had all 4 players ready and waiting to go in towards the site. They had Alu watching their flanks in middle. Now they've got to have a change of plan. Felt like that was going to work out for them. That's okay, I guess. Edgy blocks off connector, protects him, but not what he wanted.
In some ways it works, in others not so much, because they still get middle comfortably. He's not able to funnel them out of the stairwell and catch them with the weapon. Butterfly to a net. It's Electronic up on top of Ticket, who will watch back down in a similar position. And Edward has to consider, by not being able to see at the bottom of the window, by not having that Molotov placed correctly, that they could be getting inside of mid. They could be boosting, and he's read it correctly. Could give them a 2-man advantage as well. The AWP from Simple slides in, and he knew exactly where he was. Thank you for the information, Edward. But can he get back over in time? Zeus and Flamey, 2 versus 3. Chance that still falls apart, but not with the bomb falling down over the balcony. 30 seconds to go, and Zeus, he'll just buy his time. Swing out wide, take away Sergey's aim, and allow Flamey to close.
There we have it. Na'Vi managed to win the full eco and the follow-up round as well. It's ENCE. They tried to go towards the B bomb site, held off by the incendiary. Fell back, didn't really get much information at all. The time was running out, had to commit towards B, and Zeus and Flamey ready and waiting, gun them down. No plan comes through, and they're left at $2,000 per player on the T side. Currently 2-2. They're going to have to eco here, though. ENCE about to lose the lead. They had the 3-0 locked in map. They should have got it. Now this is where they'll really be tested. 3rd map of a best of 3 in the semi-final here at the Major. You've given up some disastrous rounds, and now they need to find something in the tank. Keep their heads up. Very early days here, but not the start they were looking for after winning the pistol. Nothing purchased just yet. I assume they'll get nothing more than a Deagle or 2. XCB with the Smoke Deagle combo takes himself down to $2,000. Had a little bit more money than his teammates. He spends $1,000 there. And they'll send 5 players towards A. They'll smoke towards jungle and steps or CT spawn. Flash over. See if they can get a plant down. And luckily for them, I say luckily, Electronic's on the other side, but he is alone.
He's not alone for long because he's already taken down 2. He's got lots of friends. He's welcomed them to the party. They walk in and take the invitation cleanly, and he's still behind the triple. He can still swing around. Simple's arrived on the case, so is Edwards, so is Electronic. Clean round, Na'Vi, and efficient from Electronic the whole time.
3 kills. Electronic with the AK-47. He was quiet on the first map, finished with 13 kills overall, but this is quite a scary prospect. He's warming up. He's looking sharp, and it's going to be Na'Vi taking the lead 3-2. Money's starting to stabilize, but I say that with bated breath because Alu can't even afford an AK-47. He's gone for Galil armor instead with the utility. Suggests the fact he's got that, they'll go for another set piece here. But it's going to be a D4 to kick things off as he heads towards middle. Can't really challenge towards the window area with just that Galil. Here comes the smoke and incendiary combo. We've seen this a lot recently as Flamey negates the flashbangs and takes Aerial down before anyone's spotted. That's fantastic.
Wow, that's commitment to the utility as well. He forced his hand to get them out on top of it. Electronic still holding same position this time. He won't have quite the same success. X7, he's chased down, Simple caught off guard. He fired a shot on the op. Alu's still in this on 1 HP. And he'll rotate back around. He only has a Galil to work with. X7 has it all to do himself inside the site. Nade puts him on to 24. It's Zeus that has to win this back. Both on red. Zeus has already thrown the damage-dealing nades. Watch that scope, though. He can't see to the right side. They step back to the left. He absolutely can. Low HP. And Zeus, he'll collect one more for Na'Vi to make it 4 total.
I'm surprised they commit to that so much. I see what they're trying to do, that the plant is going down. His teammate's trying to back him up. They're both exposed. They're both trying to challenge him. The timing was off, and Zeus wins another 2 versus 1. That's pretty remarkable. He's done it again, and they go up 4-2. Lost bonus, racking up heavily with the bomb down. They're at 4th stage, but still, they don't have enough for a full buy here. They're all around $4,000, some of them just under, and they're going for Mac 10s on their partial buy here. So 3 of those for now. Alu 1-6 again. He's been absent for the second map, and now the start of this one. He does his best work on the CD side of this map, but it's worrying for him. Needs to try and find some form. His teammates need him. He's the veteran of this squad. Needs to lead them to success as they go for a rush B with these Mac 10s.
Zeus flashed. Collected the wall, trying to back off. He's in the open. He's caught off. Nothing he could do at that point. The anchor. Bold from Edward to get back up on top of the window. Electronics already canceled off as well. Tons of utility tagged up, locked inside of the fire. He still waits. Simple. Haven't seen much from him yet. Resounding to report, but now we get something going. Flamey!
Oh, what?
Oh, that's all over the place. Forces the hand of Simple, who has to jump through and try and make amends with the loss, and he can't do it. Edward's gonna back out, and ENCE, they're gonna steal around, all by exploiting Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus had to get at least one there. You don't really see a partial buy with 3 Mac 10s too often, let alone working out so effectively. And usually you have one player on the B side, especially if you're investigating towards middle with aggression and things like that. Zeus can be known to drop down with nothing at all, and they're trying to exploit that fact. They get in and somehow duel out the rifles with Mac 10s there, especially that kill towards short towards Flamey. That was strange. Thought he had that for days. He lost control of the spray, and ENCE claw around back. Alu has the AWP now. This has to be the start of something great for them. They win out essentially an eco there. Remember, it's just a partial buy. They have plenty of cash now. Even after all the reinvestments, they have around 3K per player. If they win this round, they break the finances of Na'Vi as well. This map is warming up. It's not going to be a one-sided affair. Hopefully we go the full distance and see who can hold their own. As Simple will be naded down to 35 HP. But he gets a double kill. He has the audacity to stick around, and it pays off for him. Flamey chimes in with the third. A 5 versus 2 out of nowhere.
Unreal that Simple's found 2 of those already in this series. And it's been on the 2 close maps as well. Don't want to train. This one even more impressive because it's against guns, and it's going to leave ENCE with very little to work with. Sergey will try and get back up toward the top of mid to get the bomb at this point. That's priority number 1. And there's a minute in the round. That's all they've got to work with. 5 HP as well for X7. Simple wants more.
Of course he does.
All he's got to do, though, is keep firing speculative shots, because here we go. Edwards!
Hate to see that, man.
Oh, you do, because now it's only a 1-man advantage. It's not out of the realms of possibility to see them turn this around. Again, first priority, get the bomb. Sergey goes beyond it. To protect his teammate, Simple is being dynamic as ever. He's got the angle as well. Watch Sergey, because he's going to walk straight into it. Simple, he'll shut it down himself. Even if Edward couldn't finish the flank, Simple will do it all. X7's opened up The A site, though, he's wide open here. Flamey's over with Simple on B, so a bomb plant certainly is a possibility. Simple wants to get the op to catch him. Is X7 going to try and completely catch them off?
No, he was trying to see if anyone's rotating through spawn and just give himself an advantage, but he's done that already. 1 versus 1 against the orb. HP no longer a factor. He can actually win this round! It doesn't connect. He'll have to plant.
He's got to go, though, Simple. He's got the gun back up. Simple's close enough. Low HP. Pistol holds it off.
Fair play. That one miss from Edward almost leads to absolute disaster for Na'Vi. Simple has to win out. He stays on 35 HP the entire round, gets 4 kills in total. That's insane. Edward has got to be breathing a sigh of relief there. The fact that round almost fell apart due to a whiff of the AUG. This was wonderful, though. Simple getting it done. Gets him over the finish line of this round just about. So tense. You can see what it means to him. Desperate to get in that grand final. They have a 5-3 lead on the CT side for now. They take the timeout. Maybe just to calm down. That was a bit of a scary round.
Yeah. Something I had a discussion with about manager from Team Liquid this week. They brought in psychologists who talked about positive tilt as well, that you get too caught up in the positive emotions. You start to be a little bit too aggressive, you push too much, you get caught off.
It's a good point. That definitely exists. I can confirm. If teams start finding too much success, like we saw Flamey with the auto sniper, for example. He's in mid-rounds with that weapon. He's getting caught up in the romance of it all. He thought, oh, we're doing such a great job. He doesn't realize if you lose 1 round, that's enough to let these world-class teams back in. You've got to be calm and not get caught up in the emotion of it all. Round 9. We see Simple back on the AWP, but that round cost them way too much. ENCE have more than enough to purchase here as he opts out for Aloe again, but he's still 1-8.
Yeah, Flamey's going to try and go aggressive again once more. Last time he was able to get 1 with an incendiary at this point. A little bit more utility thrown his direction, but he'll hold the bottom of mid, including the underpass. We've not seen the standard default of putting players in there all too often. He gets Aloe. I thought he could potentially see the feet from Alexi as well. He'll drop down. They know he's there. Where's the bailout? What's the contingency plan? Because Edward gets back up toward Catwalk. Molotov's going to force the hands. They've got the kill? Yes, they have. Flamey, he finds the one at the end of the tunnel, so even with the flames behind him, there's nowhere that he needs to run and hide. He can fight his way out, and 5 stay alive.
Crisis averted due to that fact. Yes, it came down to 1v1 before, but now you know you've actually taken the money at the end down to nothing. You've kept 5 alive. Your money's going to recover. So there goes 6-3 up, presumably 7, but we said that before, and that's when Na'Vi actually won the full eco round. On the T side, though, it's a little bit more difficult to make those rounds work. You need a bit of utility. You need some firepower. The Glock's simply not enough. And they'll have PD-50s, 1 Deagle, no grenades, no armor. Shouldn't be any trouble here for Na'Vi, who are getting closer and closer to the first team in the grand final.
But still a long way to go. We know that ENCE has pulled back in 2 different games on this stage, 1 in this series, when you consider they were down 7-2 on Train, but also against Liquid on Inferno to take that to overtime after sitting on 15-8, or 8-15 to be technically correct. So Zeus again toward B. Flamey's been a lot closer since the round they lost to the SMGs when he was overrun, flashed off, caught in the open. And he certainly will stay there with the AK this time. Edward once more is down at the bottom side of middle. He'll back off toward connector. Alexi heads in the underpass though, and Edward once more. Sprays a loss of ammo. Fortunate that Alu wasn't in a faster position to catch him off.
At this point, Na'Vi don't have to do anything. They can just hold up and wait for the kills to come to them, and that's exactly what they're doing. Simple even falls back after finding his first pick at the round. It's 5-on-3. Electronic, when he's got the AK in his hand, it's dangerous. It's beautiful to watch, but horrible to witness if you're an ENCE fan. 7-3, they drop 1 player, that's going to be Simple going down, but they recover the AWP, that's fine. I don't see Na'Vi going for a double orb setup here. We have seen in this tournament that Zeus picked up the secondary orb on this map. Now that's absolutely fine because as we said, he's a player that's focused in that B bomb, so he's considered the weak link of the team in terms of the fragging department. Get him an orb, he can hold a deeper angle, get earlier calls, and potentially get a nice early kill before. So you might see that come into the fray, but for now, 1 orb, 2 AKs, 2 orgs.
Off this time over toward a ramp. Electronic potential to get aggressive as well. Meanwhile, Alexi has already done that inside of middle. They've got connector. Now they almost have to take a ramp. Simple. He'll push the op all the way down. Meanwhile, Alu, he waits. He's just going to catch them off. Simple holds. He's got bomb though. Simple's got bomb. He's turned it around. He's got Alexi as well.
No
He's
way.
doing this alone. He has to get an ace to win this round. 2 already, but he's got the one ingredient that he needs. And he's got smoke that he put on top of it. He's well aware of the fact they'll rotate in behind him. As Simple waits a minute and 14. Anticipation will build the entire time.
It's such an awkward angle to get that smoke down as well.
Go back for it. 2, and they're gonna time this. He's gotta be perfect. He won't be. Sergey's got it back. Alu was on the corner. It was almost impossible. Simple walked right into the trap. If he stayed high and forced them out a little further, maybe. But that was a big ask.
He needed the bomb to be a little bit deeper so he could actually have full vision. If he dropped the smoke on top of the bomb, they could just grab it. He couldn't smoke behind him. There's no angle to actually block off all the points of entry. He did what he could there. If he wins that round, my God, it could be over. You're not recovering from that, but well played by ENCE. Great fast approach here. Aerial, he said, you know what? I'm gonna just go blast him into that A bomb site, but Simple reacts to it, pushes towards the A ramp, gets the bomb somehow, but all is recovered. Plenty of cash on the Na'Vi side. They get another buy in here, but this is starting to run dry. And they have got the double orb setup, this time in Flamey, not Zeus, as we mentioned before. So that's more traditional for Na'Vi.
Yeah, Flamey's still over on that site with them. Electronic, good nade. And on top of X7, but he's welcoming it because he's firing back the other way. Electronic down and Aerial already in towards CT. Looked away, he was waiting for a flash, there was none. Zeus gets a free kill. As the smoke will dissipate. Simple will get his vision back. He can start to instigate with the AWP. He's still considering the fact that they could be at the bottom side of the middle. Flamey and Edward are there now with the rifles, and he'll go aggressive. Spotted out. He knows that was on the shadow. Top side balcony, catches him off. Sergey's got the kill, but they're on it. They're holding it. They're holding it, and Flamey's got Sergey. They have to get off, though, because they've lost track of X7, and he alone might have done enough. They pulled the bomb away, but Zeus again? He's gone for the AWP in this situation. Backs away, he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time for the kit. He's going to get out, so it's Alu to win it just by being there.
You're right to question it, though. He has won an unspeakable amount of 2 versus 1s in this series so far. We don't usually say that too often about it. He actually got his first 2v1 coming into this major. At a major event, I should say. But that time didn't really have enough to work with to justify even going for the defuse there. X7, again with the faster approach. Comes down to a 1 versus 1, but they win out the round. They need to avoid the reset here. There's Alu. We have been talking about his low performance the last 2 maps, but it's justified, I'm afraid. He is 2-10 right now. At XCB, 3-9. Some holes to be plugged, but for now it's okay. The scoreline, not that devastating. 7-5. ENCE will have the orb once again. Na'Vi are forced into this. We can see 2 players with the pistols. That's going to be Flaming Electronic.
Simple's going to rotate, and I was going to suggest this might be an option to try and get the op back over toward B, but also that he's not really been inside of his sight at all. And if they know that the op was saved, it might be the safest of bets to try and avoid it, but smartly for now, they'll stay in the default. They'll try and figure that out. They'll send X7 in as the investigator, the detective. He's still in the B site, Simple. Problem is that if they get connector as they are now, they overwhelm Electronic. Edward, don't think they're going to be heading that direction. Simple's on his horse. He wants to get on catwalk. He wants to catch them before they get inside of the site. Flamey, he slowed them down already with the deagle. Alu knows it's a possibility. Alexi's so low. Ignore the nade damage on Simple because with the op, he just wants to peek. 1 shot, take down a kill. And then he could fall off of it. 7 will catch out Zeus. That's one part of the plan gone. And they're actually going back up. Simple, he's alone on B. The others have to rotate. Edward gets Sergey, but they realize now it is back over on this side, and Simple's still here with the single off. He's got a second! He's heaven sent! Don't you dare forget that Simple had the only weapon, and he's inside of the site. Electronic gets there!
Give him an inch or take a mile every single time. They thought they had done enough to cause rotations towards the A site, and they had. They forgot about one small factor, though. Simple on the AWP in perfect position. Absolutely rails the first 2 shots. Was on for the 3rd as well. And they'll carry them to victory in round number 13. It's Flamey, though, the Desert Eagle, to manage to open things up. Fantastic work from him. But this was the show-stopping moment. Simple keeps the AWP alive and absolutely sends ENCE's finances to hell. They've got Glocks only here, Matt, and they're going for a B rush. This time 2 players waiting for them to run through the flames, and Zeus is on for a big spray down here with the AK-47.
He's got one already. He was on for a big spray down. You're right. Unfortunately, they didn't really get in the right positions for him, so it was a big ask, and it might be the same problem they had last time they exploited Zeus inside of the site. Simple. He's back, and he's back yet again.
Now, I was going to say it's not really good enough against Glocks to allow the bomb down and trade out 2-on-2, but if it allows us to see Simple do things like that, I'm absolutely fine with it. The defuse will come in, and it's the last round next anyway, but the problem is they shouldn't really be letting ENCE plant it in that manner, but still, what are those shots? So sick. This guy's on another level right now.
He's what Navi's always promised.
It's getting to them now.
It is. And this is what we've not really seen much from ENCE. We know that the Finns are very stoic. Bursts of emotion aren't necessarily common, but there's one that time. It's X7 with a bit of a punch toward the desk. They're back on the weapons. Simple is not relenting at all. He goes back around. He waited for the main peek in 2 previous rounds. This time it's gifted to him, and Edward goes aggressive.
Well, there we go. Edward will push up on the smoke, but Ariel actually takes him down there. Quick reply from ENCE here. Goes to the 4-on-4. But Simple's in position to get another kill, but he'll buy some time. His teammate throws the incendiary towards underpass. Flashbang comes in. He's looking for another shot towards middle. Will he be given the opportunity? It's Ariel behind the smoke right now. Checks his position, jumps over, and lives to tell the tale. 3 players will make it 2 towards the A ramp, and then it will be Ariel and XCB making their way towards connector, so an A split is on the cards, but the AWP of X7 needs to find something before they can fully commit.
Simple again. This time he's cut off. Someone had to shut him down. Had to put him away, and it's become a miracle because now they open up the site as a result of it. It's all on Zeus. You said it. He's had clutches in this game. He might be on for one more. It's round 15. He'll go for it, but unfortunately he's tagged to 15 in the process. He's got a kit. He's got nade and incendiary, but they're already waiting for his arrival at connector. Missed shot, though, from X7. That's going to force him further back. Zeus just needs to be slightly considerate. He's not. But the fact that Ariel was waiting. 9-6, this is every bit of game as you'd love to see.
There is a huge difference between 9-6 and 10-5. The fact they get that round right at the very end is going to revitalize them. They're going to feel like they can do this now. It's not the worst half in the world, but certainly not the best. They need Alu to come online. They need to start looking more like a dynamic unit. But they've had some fantastic CT performances throughout this tournament. I'm sure they've got some life left in the tank still. It's 9-6 at half. We've got one more half to go. To see how this one concludes, you have to come back after this break.
hold your breath. ENCE could still do it. They could still absolutely upset a second world-beating team. They took down world number 2 in Liquid. They've got a chance to do it against Na'Vi, world number 3. They're down 3 rounds, but they hit the CT side.
It's going to be a tough one here for ENCE, but they can certainly do it. But as we mentioned before into halftime, they need to start turning up individually. Over the last 2 maps, Alu has found 5 kills in total. It's really not good enough. We thought he was on for a big game in the first map. Train, he was excellent. But either way, the final half of this series. Who will go to the grand final first? Right now it's Na'Vi with 9, ENCE with 6, and Simple leading the way with the P250. They head slowly towards B.
Alexi there with Sergey. Crossfire that was well established and set up, but unfortunately couldn't hit the shots. Alexi, he'll give himself a chance. Finds the first, but Simple and Zeus find not only him, but they follow it to get Alu all on aerial just like that. It's going to be anything but easy for ENCE because now they've lost the second pistol and they've got 4-round deficit already to Na'Vi.
Absolutely true. ENCE didn't really put up much of a fight there at all. That's what we call a contact play towards the B bomb side there. You wait for initial utility. If there's no incendiary, there's no smoke, you push through and you go into the 5-man unit. Yes, the USP can be very effective at range. If you miss a couple of shots, it's unlikely you're going to find the kills you require, especially with 5 targets in front of you. They manage to capitalize, get out quickly, bomb planted, every kill found, and there will be no force buy in response. So I say this should be an 11-6 half round, but I was burned before map.
We've all been burned once or twice. 18 for Simple. There's been a lot of talk about that. He said in an interview he felt concerned every time that he went down first that the team couldn't necessarily convert. They've certainly showed that they could against FaZe, and he hasn't been leading, and they've still been winning. Today he's back on top where you want him, and everyone else is still firing as well. Yesterday
he's actually bottom fragging at some points. It's kind of odd that they've been winning games, but that means they're playing more as a team instead of focusing on the individuals. And I have to say, ENCE have had some innovative anti, or eco round, I should say. That's not bad, a little Brum boost off the top of it. They get a kill. It won't get them around victory, but it's nice to look at.
Alu was inside a window, or the ladder, overlooking the window. I thought he might try and peek out and get a second one. They are going to hold off in middle, just try to get the weapon away, but X7 the last alive. They dropped off Sergey, and that's exactly who had the AK-47 carried over. Just 2 guns remain, though. Low HP for Simple. Bombs planted, but they've done a good amount of economic damage here, so it's going to go to 11-6, but ENCE, it's not a bad way to give themselves a chance. Especially because X7 got one of those kills on the SMG, so he got the kill reward for that. He looks for another at that range. Bit desperate, but Flamey controls it with the AK.
Na'Vi do lose 3 players there. That's significant, actually, because we know the buy for ENCE is coming in now. Alu purchased the AWP. Last chance now in terms of time left. He needs to step up on the CT side of Mirage. His team needs him. He's the experienced veteran. He's been on these stages many times before. He needs to lead by example. 3-15 right now, but he can turn it around. He has the capability. Simple going very quickly towards the A ramp. He's challenging straight away. He isn't slowing down either. Doesn't get the target, but at least gets a bit of information. There's not a swarm of players coming towards the A ramp.
Well, he considered rotating back around. He'll think better of it. Goes over toward A instead. Pressure on X7 and Alexi B then. Still 1:33, no commitment from Na'Vi, but if they take mid, with Zeus already working in the underpass, it's a lot of pressure toward the B players to be in the right spot at the right time. More so if Alu can't find a mid pick and has to back away so convincingly. And they've realized they've lost mid. So what's the adjustment? It's going to be the front side of the A site. Aerial, Sergey, they want to try and adapt by taking information away at A main. It's not a bad call. Even if they walk into the A site, Alu's going to rotate around towards CT. They'll pinch them between the 2. But it's a lot more chaotic to do that.
This round is very important. The CTs with no kits, Alu with no armor. And mid control is fully under control for Na'Vi here. Simple fires off shots towards Alu. Remember that lack of armor makes him very vulnerable. A bullet through the wall takes him down to 1 HP, but he can still be relevant in this round.
So long as nades don't go his way, fortunately for his sake, there aren't any left on the Na'Vi side. 3 Augs. M4A1S, just to note, aerial that's been touched on. He's one of the only players still using that gun, let alone the M4s. Old habits die hard, perhaps. Sergey takes out Zeus. Aerial comes back in. The A1S does do a solid job. Simple will finish off the job. Speaking of on Alu, that 1 HP gone to the AK, and now it's Na'Vi to reclaim territory inside of the site. X7 from range, they almost line up. They give him 2. This goes down to a 1-on-1. They didn't have to commit to the bomb plant to the open, and they just barely had enough time to get it planted back at default. That could have been the round in itself.
X7 gives them a fighting chance in the 1 versus 1, but it's up against Simple, the final boss of CSGO. Bomb ticking at some speed when they've got no kits here either. He has no information. Simple could be in the palace, he could be on the Tetris boxes, and he's hunting every position and getting nothing for it.
Flash on either side. Simple could easily just pop that over and re-peek. He's already got position. The disappearing act. He wasn't there when he went by. As soon as he looked back to the bomb, he was. Simple's got 12. And it's now 6 rounds, the deficit.
Using the element of surprise there, because you would assume in that CT, he's not going to peek me until I touch the bomb. Simple knows he's running out of time. He has to run to the bomb, knife out, get back in position, and he just takes him down. Great play from one of the all-time greats. X7, though, you're right. This didn't have to happen like this. Almost a massive upset there, but calm as you like. Simple gets his 21st frag. This is round number 19. He's got 21. Just to put some perspective on that. Partial buy for ENCE. It's looking like he'd be 13-6. They're running out of lives now.
Zeus in position. Nice swing by Alexi. He's got a gun for it. And they've already pushed up the underpass to guarantee that he was going to have some help, even if there was a further presence. There isn't. They've cleared it. Can they rotate in time to support Alu and X7? Say 6 rounds the deficit, 4 rounds to a 5th major final appearance for Zeus. And you can't say that he was carried to it this time. He's been a huge part of it. Simple, the one thing missing on his resume, a major title. He'll get another chance at it, a 3rd. So he holds off and speaks. No ills against him, though. He'll catch him off with the single AK that they recovered. It is going to be flaming and electronic nonetheless, though, that make solid and quick work. The defense inside of the site. And Alexi's got the AK rotated back around, smoke down. He can actually push through it. He can actually try to catch them off, and he will. He's got electronic. He's given themselves a chance because he now has Edward facing him. And the repeat from A-Main, it's not fast enough. Ariel couldn't do anything up. He's making a lot of noise, but Edward didn't hear him. Ariel, he's going to save ENCE.
That's a very good word for him, that save. It was a partial buy with a CZ. Alexi B gets 4 kills. Picks up the AK-47, goes to town, ducking and weaving through the smokes, and it's enough. Could this bring ENCE back to life now? Time will tell. They've got money once again as they fend off what could have been a very important round. 13-6 down. I'm not sure they would have covered, but 12-7. Now the cash is out. They're going to have a double orb set up as well. Maybe this is enough. I feel like Zeus overcommitted to this, knowing the money was low. But either way, Alexi B capitalized upon the mistake. Gets back in towards CT spawn and causes absolute chaos there. And he's actually ruined the money of Na'Vi as well. They're going to take a partial buy here. A similar approach we saw from ENCE in the first half, going towards B with Mac 10, CZ, and seeing what can be done.
This is all Ariel and X7 so far. 18 and 17 kills between them. Alexi couldn't catch the second, already got Zeus. What a save it was. Huge round from Alexi, just that 1 kill from Ariel, and suddenly they're right back in the game. 12-8. And there's still not a lot of money on the Na'Vi side. No bomb plant. Great hold. Surely they don't come from behind a 3rd time.
Well, it's looking positive now at least. We are going to see a deep run. This could go all 30 rounds, maybe some overtime action. Time will tell as Na'Vi now have to take the eco. ENCE right back in this now. All it took was that pistol victory, courtesy of Alexi B. Ali still has time, but still not finding any frags. 3-17. But this one should be more successful for them. They need to keep 5 players up here against the CZs and Deagles. Ariel maybe gets 2 and survives. Not bad. He'll get out of there.
Alu, there's his 4th. Back with the op. And keep that in mind. Alu, superstar that he was, played on Mouse Sports for a long time with Gobby with Kerrigan. And went off to NIP, was the star of that team for a good amount of time. We didn't think much was going to happen for him, but if anything was on ENCE, It was that he was going to be the leader for them, and now he's being held up by all this young talent that's come through. And keep Sunny in mind as well. He's with Mouse Sports. They win events last year, have a fantastic year overall. They start to crumble just before the end of the year and then didn't even make it through to this. We've been saying for a while he's the top Finnish player. Well, now we're finding 4 others we can include in that conversation.
Yeah, so much talent from that small country. It's fantastic to see them in the semi-final. They still have a chance of winning this game as well, going to the grand final. There it is, 5 players survive. Sergey with 2, Ariel with a nice spray down towards the underpass. They're close to double digits now, looking much better. They're actually on their feet at this point. And Na'Vi do have enough to buy, but it's not going to be the best. A couple of players hovering around 4K. Will they even bring the AWP out here in round number 22? No bomb planted. Now you can see them getting tense on the Na'Vi side.
That's always been an issue for Na'Vi. That it absolutely is. And we saw it in London at the pre-event to this when they were shaping up just the showcase event. A lot of overcalling by Electronic on timeouts against Zeus. The arguments can certainly form.
Absolutely.
This is a very different game than it was before that eco win.
Oh yes, totally agree. That changed everything.
Push to mid. Push from the crowd. It still remains. Same question, can they do it again? And we're down, Alexi, he finds 2. Simple inside of the site with the bomb, and a round's never over until he's found.
You can see some exchange for Na'Vi now, not looking as confident or dynamic as they once were before. They're getting picked off by solo plays from CTs, and now it's a 5-on-2. Time remaining, but there's no utility. Now that 1 HE's been removed, they've got 2 AKs now, and they desperately need to get this bomb down just to give them a bit more cash. Simple still alive with Flamey. A dangerous duo, and Simple will open things up towards the connector, but a lot more has to be found here. How is he still alive?
He is so lucky to be alive. 27 seconds, he went for the plant early. Repeat, he knows they're gonna swing. They swing too soon. Sergey's on his backside, and so are ENCE on Na'Vi.
Very different pictures there. Na'Vi can feel this game slipping away from them. It should have been 13-6. This game should be over by now, but it's down to Alexi B, the man in the screen right now. The 4K in the eco. Brought ENCE back to life. It's 12-10 now. Na'Vi on the T side, starting to quiet them down, and they've actually got $3,000 per player. This might be another gimme round for ENCE at this point. They can't invest too much. Maybe Deagle Armor, that's about it. But the timeout comes through.
This has been their secret weapon. Coming back late as the underdog, they are getting in everyone's heads.
On the line. It was a surprise that ENCE made it to the round of 16. They then get to the final 8, somehow in the semi-final, and now have a chance to go all the way. They have the advantage in round number 23 up against Glocks. From what I can see right now, 3 of them. A Deagle comes out as well. What an amazing story this should be if they can pull this one off. And it's going to be the execution for Na'Vi. You'll see smokes all over the bomb site. Objective, get the bomb down, see what happens after that.
Sergey's gonna try and counter it off with aggressive stance. Out toward the front of the site, Ariel. He'll watch over his shoulder. 22 kills for Ariel. 10K on Sergey. 5K on Alu. Na'Vi are... The only way they're in the lead is on the scoreboard. They are anything but in control of this game. Smoke execution to go. Ariel, he's up front though. You can see the shadows as well of the nades going over. He knows they're there. They position accordingly as well. Sergey, he'll cover off the top side from Palace, and Alu, he sits back. He's the turret, the anchor for the site. Let the young boys dance. And dance they shall as they find Flamey already. He's ready for for more as well, positioned to delay.
Great response.
Huge nade, massive response. Simple only gets one. It was Sergey, but then again, we said it, Alu's the anchor, and he certainly will hold fast. Now, it's Gun's the runner that steers the whole ship as he gets yet more. It's a one-round game.
He arrives just in the nick of time. Alu with the 4K. That's going to bring his confidence right back now. It's 12-11. Na'Vi nowhere near a bomb plant there. Fantastic response when they saw the smokes and flashbangs fly over. The incendiaries down. The nuke of an HE towards the round must have done about 250 damage, and it sets this man up for a 4K. As we head into round number 24 now. Simple has the AWP. They have not posted a round in 5 now. They got maximum loss bonus as they send 2 players, including the bomb, towards the Palace.
4 kills last round, there's the 5th. He finds Flame, he gets aggressive, and he knows he has to catch Na'Vi off. He knows they have to keep their foot on the gas. And does he ever? 5 rounds in a row that started, remember, with a 4K pistol push that got an AK inside of the B apartments, led to a round clutched in a one-on-one. Zeus gets one, and Sergey's already in spawn. Simple gets shut down. Alu's back. He's back on the battle. Not even Simple's op can save them. And he'll just sit inside of the site, finally caught off by Edward, who couldn't transfer fast enough. He tried. Best efforts put Sergey to 17, despite that he was well away from his intended target.
3 versus 1. Electronic has the Molotov. Plenty of time, but the bomb is down on the balcony of the Palace. If he can get one of these kills and survive, he might be on the summit, but as soon as he fires a bullet, they're all going to pounce on him. He does get up, but surely taken down here from the jungle area. It's going to be Alexi B, who ties things up. Somehow, some way, they've brought it all the way back with 6 rounds in a row. Na'Vi with no plan. They actually have the partial buy again here, Matt. This is where ENCE take the lead. They have to go Deagle armor. There's no 2 ways about it. It's Alu who's getting his confidence back. The first time in about 20 rounds we see him go for an aggressive pick, and he's landing the shots now.
He's up to 10 kills. This is Train all over again. They're coming back against Na'Vi. Alu's part of the reason they're doing it, and they're getting in the heads once more of Na'Vi. Here goes Alu once more, this time smoked off. More traditional, but he's not even content with that. He'll throw a nade. A nade against very little because the pistols will get close. But it's Aerial that waits with Alu immediately beside. The ENCE chance back. Aerial in a perfect position. I'm not sure he's aware they've sneaked so far behind. Alu's trying to hold. He's got to go to the pistol because it was just the AWP, and that's good enough. It's good enough to control Edward, and he's got his teammates doing the rest.
13-12, ENCE take the lead now. Pressure is on for Na'Vi. Another partial buy had to come through, but now they have the cash. They'll take their 3rd time out of this stage. I can't believe how this has swung back in the Finnish favor. This is unbelievable. Sergey, strong defending Alu there as he had to pull up the pistol. Pixel, perfect precision, and you can see the temperament of Na'Vi starting to come crashing down.
And don't for a second think they won't think that they can take down Astralis. They'll have all the confidence. They've taken down world number 2. They're about to potentially take down world number 3. Oh, Astralis, you better count your lucky stars.
Well, here we go. Just a few rounds separate ENCE from that grand final. This young team somehow answered back 6 rounds in a row to take the lead. The comeback kids are in 5th gear right now as Alu looks to push towards top of middle. He's got the AWP. Molotov down the connector. This is going to be dicey for him. He will go down. Edward gets the first pick. Recovery needed here. Simple back on the AWP, looking for any push towards short.
Alexi though wants to swing out through the smoke. How? Oh, there's not enough superlatives for Simple. He gets yet more through a smoke, and that is finally something going their way. But the HP's not all there. It isn't Flame. He can find further shots. They want to tie this back up. They don't want to let this get out of hand. And it's just X7 that they have to deal with. But remember, they need to keep players alive. He nearly caught them off. Simple gets the shot, but they go down to 3 living on a massive reset potential.
Simple was low HP as well. He had to hit that shot. Of course he does. Cash in abundance for ENCE. They have so much money here. They have one more buy remaining after the full investment here in round number 27. 13-13, ladies and gentlemen. Been one of the best series of this tournament so far. And Electronic, we get into the rounds, he has missed his smoke. He's actually thrown it in T-spawn. That might seem like a small detail, but he's completely whiffed it. That was supposed to be towards middle, so that's cost him an extra smoke now. And that's missed in window as well. This is a nightmare round for them.
Missed in window, but interestingly, it's kind of locked in aerial. I don't know if he'll use that to his benefit or not. It's possible he's going to push through it. He's going to go directly up. Spots one already. Flamey's gone. What's the answer? Repeat. Edward gets him. He had to, and he's lucky to do it because that smoke missing meant Alu could have easily traded it off.
Two missed smokes in the round. If they lose this one because of that, they'll be tilted off the face of the planet. Now boost Electronic up. He's not going to commit towards the window. He's holding the ledge, watching the vent right now. And someone is going to peek at any second. That's going to be Alexi B. Who blinks first? Who will take this frag? It's such an important one. Electronic checking it every few seconds, but he's surely going down here now. There's Alexi B, perfectly positioned. Taking down one of the star players in Na'Vi. It's a 4-on-3 advantage. As they start to push towards that connector, Zeus has got control of the steps.
Silent but sure. They'll work their way in. Safe and slow. They've got to make sure they clear every single angle. 20 seconds. The bomb's caught now. The round could end. I think that gun barrel was just enough. Alu knows they're up close. Sergey tries to take advantage of it. Missed shots go either direction. But all this does is serve to allow Alexi to come out from jungle. Watch it, because he's got the lineup simple. He doesn't have the time. He's got to go to the AK and get the kill. This guy is on another level. He's going to have time to put the bomb down. And X7, he knows he's in rotation to flash out. He's got the information. He's got just enough. He goes back to the AWP. But is that what's going to cost him? It is. It is going to cost him.
Somehow X7 holds his nerve. It looked like Simple wasn't going to miss a single bullet there. But Matt, that is the full reset now. 14-13, and they've got no money at all. Electronic $2,000, Flamey $2,500. They can buy with Edward and Simple. They have around $6,000 between them. I think they have to at this point. And they'll take their final timeout. What a disastrous round from start to finish there. They miss the smokes. They start to lose players, but Simple somehow finds some wiggle room here. He gets the AK-47 out. Look at that. It's ridiculous. As he plants the bomb, it looked like he was on for the final kill, but somehow the Finns have done it. They've taken the lead back and reset Na'Vi here. This game has certainly delivered on all fronts. And we're getting to the absolute crescendo now. Who will come out on top? Right now, ENCE have the advantage. Galil's are purchased out. They've got to drop weapons here. Simple has his AWP and 30 frags to his name, but it still doesn't seem like it's enough.
For the Na'Vi fans out there, don't worry. I know 5 players from North America that will know how to console them if this doesn't go their way, because they are going to have their hearts broken by the underdogs.
A commitment coming in. This looks to be an execution off the very get-go here. They have a few smokes. They have the Molotovs, but they don't have that much firepower. CZs, Galils, but the AWP is up with no helmet, just to know that.
Desperate times. This is it.
You're right, they lose this round. That's pretty much the GG.
Zeus with the pistol tries to find out where they are in sandwich. Sergey's not yet spotted, but they turn around in time. It was the only last place they had to clear. With the smokes down, they had already cleared underneath the balcony. So process of elimination finds them the first. Will it find them the round? Bomb planted, safe side default. Simple. Still up in the apartment. He's got one. Oh man, this guy.
It's too good. And it's looking very good for Na'Vi at this point. The Hail Mary play, Galil, CZs, and an AWP, and they make it work. So much pressure. As they make their way towards the A site, they didn't even have to trade out the kills there. Edward opened things up, Simple shut it down. 2 kills, all that's required as ENCE have to fall back. Their money is starting to run low now as well. They need to keep all three players up here. 14-14.
Oh, I'm gone. You just can't call it. You can't. No one in this arena. I don't care how many games of Counter-Strike you've watched or played. No one knows who's winning this one.
That's why we love the game so much. Anything can and will happen. And now Na'Vi starting to look like they have some resources here. They've recovered some AKs. Flamey's still in the Galil. Might want to get rid of that. I'm not sure. He's got 4,000 residual sticks on him. Saves himself enough cash for the next round if this does go wrong. Alu jumping up towards short. Successful, even the flashbang coming in.
He's the man who did a lot of work to pull them back in. Aggressive inside of the apartments. That's another round. You talk about the eco victory, then he follows it up by pushing just that round inside of the palace to catch one kill, something they hadn't done all game. He had the intuition to do it. He's trying a similar approach. We have seen this setup, Aerial and Sergey forward. And it was that same round when they had Alu behind them to be the anchor. They don't have him this time. So those two are the only two inside of the A site. That's the difference.
But they're playing in front of the smokes right now. Sergey there. And Aerial. First kill for Simple though. He doesn't miss much, and Sergey's got so much pressure here. HE doesn't do much damage. Can the bullets find much more? He gets one. It's still a 3-on-3 here.
Good trade back in. Alexi slid out from jungle, and Simple never ran in. He's so low on HP. He had to back away. They have to cross. They still have to get the bomb to the site. 50 seconds. Are they going to be bold enough to even attempt? Or do they fall off and try elsewhere? Simple's making sure the flank is covered so that at least they have the option. In fact, he'll go back around to Palace. Alu's worked his way back over. X7 is leading off. Alexi's going to push. Him pushing toward the top of mid might be just enough information for them. How far does he want to go? And how soon does he get there? He's not taking his time about it. He wants information. He's confident his two teammates can win out the round. He just needs to make sure he puts them in the right position. Incendiary down 15 seconds. Low HP, remember, for two Na'Vi players. Flamey's got to run forward. He took damage on the way through. He sits on 11. That is all. As Alu tried to sink the ship. Alexi's behind. Simple's gone. No way he holds it. And now they've got problems. The low HP is going to be punishing. Flamey's got to get away. He gets toward the stairs. But Electronic has a straight duel on entry. Smoke goes too deep. And Alexi knows where to look. No shoulder beat yet. Oh, I can see him. He's got him. He's got enough. He's got to have the bait in Flamey, though. They're both going to go toward him. He's missed the shot. 11 HP is all they have between them and staying alive. Between them and series point. And he's down. It's going to be ENCE there first. 1 to go.
One more will do it. There is money in the bank for Na'Vi. It's not going to be a walk in the park as we enter round number 30. Nerves of steel there. Alexi B getting it done with a backstab towards Palace as well. That's the all-important kill. He removes the danger factor as Simple with an AWP. 15-14. Na'Vi have enough to take this to overtime. Absolutely. Will they bring the AWP out though? It's $5,000 on Simple. He would be compromised. You just have the AWP and nothing else. He might be better off with just an AK here. Have the armor, have the utility, and it's a double AWP setup on the CT side. Can ENCE actually close it out? In regulation here, this will be such a historic victory. They stunned the world and they took down Liquid in the quarterfinals. Surely it can't be happening again against Na'Vi in the semis. Unbelievable. Final rounds. Do or die. Na'Vi have to win this or they're out of the tournament. The third and final map here. It's all on the line now.
Alu's going to drop down this time. He still wants to be aggressive. They don't dare go to the top side of the ramp. Just one more round.
I even feel nervous at this point. Can't imagine what they're feeling on the server.
One on the other side, but wanting to ensure that with the deep smoke down. 3 smokes left on the CT side. X7 will back up. Alu with a window. Alexi had his chance. Couldn't convert, but my God, if he did, the panic that would ensue.
No one wants to go first. No one wants to make that commitment. So much on the line here. If you lose that first frag, it goes to a 5-on-4. The time's ticking away. You don't want to be that player, but Alu's finding that confidence. Oh, he manages to hit it as well. Can he get the follow-up? It might not matter. It's a 5-on-3 with 30 seconds remaining. I think they might have done it. Zeus and Simple with it all to do here.
And not even the best can save them. It's a 1-on-5 for Zeus. And is this man ever going to win a major? The deep breath. He got one with Gambit, but will he get one with Na'Vi? That's what he's wanted. He went back for a reason, but ENCE is going to deny. The Finns, the kings of Katowice, they're through. Welcome to the big stage.
What a story, Matt. You couldn't write this stuff if you tried. ENCE came in as an underdog to this tournament at best. They've now booked themselves a place in the grand finals. Most of these players, their first ever major. They took down Team Liquid in the quarterfinals and major veterans Na'Vi in the semis. Could they go the whole way and win the whole thing? Unbelievable.
Forget that 4 of them have never been on the stage. All 5 of them have never been in a final. Alu's going to get his first chance at it. One more best of 3, and it is all possible. We're going to send it over to the desk. What an unbelievable story.
Unbelievable doesn't even cut it. Dreams, they really do come true. A project started in April of 2018 and a dream run crafted in Katowice. Kings of the Minor pushed to the absolute brink of elimination here at the major, but they rise through the turmoil and they thrive versus the game's best. ENCE in the final of their very first major.
Alex, they were down 12-6. They were on eco. They battled back after winning that round and pushed Na'Vi. They pushed Simple. They made Simple play some of the best Counter-Strike he's played all tournament.
I'm shaking.
And they still snatched the victory here. It's unbelievable. I was shocked by the Liquid game. I don't know.
You can't be shocked anymore. They keep doing it.
I don't even know what to say. Every single player on ENCE has come up huge for them. Ariel with a monster game. Like you said, Simple had a phenomenal map of Counter-Strike, and somehow ENCE weathered the storm. They survived all of these pistol rounds they've lost throughout this entire best of 3. I don't even know what to say. What an incredible team.
And we don't have to say anything else. I think OJ and a victorious ENCE player will say the rest.
Thank you very much, Alex. Considering what you've just done, considering how you won that semi-final, just show me your hand a second, because you are shaking right there. Talk me through the emotions at this moment.
It just feels amazing. I don't know what we just did, but we just beat Na'Vi 2-1. Feels great.
Through to a grand final in a major as well. I mean, Simple was coming at you there.
Yeah, every one of them played great. I think Zeus played great. We were like really unfocused because Zeus was killing us on Dust 2. But we just laughed it off and went to Mirage.
Once again, you were behind. Once again, you had to come back and then hold on. How are you doing this?
I don't know.
You must know, because it's not the first time you beat Liquid. You've now taken out Na'Vi. You must know.
We just have an amazing team. We play without pressure. We play just good CS.
Are people underestimating you?
A bit, yes. Now they won't.
Now they won't. These are fighting words. Henry G in comms said towards the end he was nervous in that final match for you to clinch it. He said he was nervous. He had no idea how you were feeling in the server.
We were feeling very confident. We just, after the Dust 2, we just knew that they played great. Nothing worked for us. We went to Mirage. It's our home map, kind of. Just played our own game and won.
Which brings us through now to a grand final, which will take place here tomorrow. A best of 3 for that trophy down there. What do you do tonight to prepare?
Just chill out and focus for tomorrow.
That's all it is. There must be some excitement. Any celebrations?
Nah.
Man, he's so cool. He's the coolest Finn around. It has been emotional watching you play. Will it be you taking on MIBR or Astralis tomorrow?
I think it will be a tough game, but we're going to play Astralis, and we're going to break their record.
They're going to play Astralis, and they're going to break the record. I love it when we get fighting talk. It's been a great story so far to watch him play. Put your hands together, please, Katowice, for this man and that team. It's ENCE through to the final.
Wow. Given a platform and Alexi B. He could be 9 feet tall right now. I'm going to break their record. We haven't even had it. That was the first semi-final. There's another one to come. And my goodness, if it delivers in that same capacity, I'm not sure my heart is ready. Doctors on standby. And my goodness, there are noise complaints from all over Finland at this point in time as eruptions of rapture. They cannot quite believe it, and I'm not sure I can.
I can't believe it. They've beaten the #2 team in the world, the #3 team in the world.
What's
and
left?
In the finals, they will either play the #1 or #4 team in the world. And you got to give them a fair shot. They're incredible.
You see what Alexi was saying there, about Zeus fragging. Zeus was having so much impact, winning clutches, opening duels. He had, impact on pistol rounds. The Na'Vi were playing well. They were up 12-6, Alex. I'm just astonished. 12-6. That was the scoreline.
I don't think ENCE, I think they've worked out a way to just remove the scoreline from their game because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they are, what were they? 12 rounds away from elimination at this major to then win 8 maps back-to-back.
I think when it was 12-6 too, I pointed out, I feel so bad for Alu. What was he sitting at? It had to be like 2-15.
And then the last round of the game, he plays balls out in mid with the AWP for what, like a minute?
Balls out, Alex.
He stayed in mid the whole time with the AWP. He didn't wince. He didn't move. He had a bad game in that point. He was pivotal.
He came up so big in that second half at the end.
I can't even remember what I'm supposed to be saying. I tell you, thank you, man in my ears. That helps. Yes, let's go ahead and check out what that Mountain Dew amped Game Fuel power play was.
The Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Power Plays.
What have you got for me, Chad?
All right, I've said it once, I've said it again. 12-6, the scoreline. Now, this is the round right here. Look at this. Alexi B goes huge on this round, and it carries through and gives them a chance and gives us a hugely exciting game of Counter-Strike. So let's dive in a little bit deeper here. What I want you to focus on first and foremost is they have pistols. They don't have guns. They're looking at the back here of getting taken down by Na'Vi convincingly. Now, what I want to do is I want to draw your focus. Let's clear the screen, shall we? I want to draw your focus towards this man right here, the hero to get them to this point. He's going to go towards B-Apps, and he's going to get a kill against Zeus. That's the opening frag. He picks up an AK-47, and then what he does from here is mental. You're about to see the fight go down. He's just, look at this. He's not scared of anything. Pushing straight up, going to go straight in, and he destroys Zeus with this CZ. That's him dead. Okay, what I want to point out right now is you need to look towards these players who have taken control of this area of the map. There's a flank that's going to come into play later, and they're going to be able to come through spawn. That's really important for the end of this clip. Now, we're going to fast forward it a little bit right here. You can see that Alexi B has repositioned. He's going to be watching window. Simple goes for a really bad peek here. So any second, you're going to see Simple jump across, and he's going to get taken down. Simple's dead. That allows Alexi B at this point to now rotate back over towards A. He's going to jump up on Ticket Booth and find yet another frag. So let's just go back and highlight this. The whole time, Aerial is in a position to flank. He is really integral to the end of this. There's another kill from Alexi just come up on the screen. Plays into the smoke. His teammate comes along to assist. He trades instantly. He has given them this round, basically. Now it's going to be a one-on-one between Edward and Aerial, and Edward has no idea where Aerial is coming from. Up the flank, makes the kill, wins the round, and then they go on a huge streak to get them back in this match. And that's why that's the power play of this game.
Gosh, I mean, there was so many moments. So you're 12-6 down. Simple's playing well. Simple nearly had, I think, a graffiti moment if should Na'Vi have won that. You see that 1v3 attempt?
I was just going to say, I think X7 had 2 of the most important frags of this entire match. The 1v1 against Simple, that literally was a graffiti moment if Simple gets that frag. And the frag on Electronic at Tetris at 14-14 when it's a 2 versus 2.
He had, what, 9 seconds, and he gets 2 of the 3, and the other fight is there? How many AWP shots does Simple miss? Not many.
Look, I'm going to say that is going to haunt Simple because he could have gotten away. He could have played, he could have played a different 1v1.
Sure.
That situation could have gone differently, but he was feeling his aim in that situation. He went for it. He was unable to convert, but that's a 1v3 that he probably should have no right winning anyway. It takes the god of Counter-Strike to get it that close.
I mean, look, Carmack's speech about competition, it rings in my mind, and you know how much is on the line. It is those moments. It's when you feel everything just kind of start to collaborate. Everything fits in its place. And these guys, they've taken out a team that have looked incredible. Our opinion on Na'Vi has flipped 180 degrees. We were like, Na'Vi are truly contenders for the grand final and maybe even a trophy lift.
Sure.
ENCE are part of that conversation now in a very big way.
This is such a strong Na'Vi, and they beat them on Train and Mirage, which are old school Na'Vi maps.
Yeah.
Like, these are Na'Vi's home maps that they took this series on. So you cannot take anything away from ENCE. They have earned this trip to the final. They did the same thing against Liquid, Mirage and Inferno. And now he says that they're going to break the streak. I don't mean, does he mean Nuke?
I think he's talking about Nuke. Or is he playing Zeus-level mind games? And I don't know.
It doesn't really matter at this point, because I think, you look at the way that ENCE have played themselves in both of these games, going up against, we said, the best North American team probably ever. Actually, screw probably, ever.
Yeah.
They took them down convincingly.
And I just want to preface this. If you're sitting there at your computer right now and you're getting angry that the names that you expected to see are not in the semi-finals, calling it another fluky major, I ask you now to walk away from the keyboard, go outside. We don't want you here. This is an incredible game of Counter-Strike. This is not a fluke. It wasn't Na'Vi making mistakes. Sure, everyone made mistakes in this semi-final. Yeah. You're going to. But that was good Counter-Strike. And if you didn't enjoy it, we don't need you here.
The run of the minor system and the majors now, the way that, we have best of threes as gateways, all those little bits and pieces that go into this, the depth of the map pool having to be established time and time again, the fact you have 4 rookies on the stage here playing in front of thousands of fans. Sure, they have their back, but that's still a daunting experience. That's thousands of people you might let down. These guys have done this against all odds, and that's what makes this so impressive. It isn't just, a run from nowhere and they're coming on best of 1 streak and making top 8. They're doing it convincingly with a fantastic brand of Counter-Strike.
16-14 Train, 16-14 Mirage. Deficits on both. It was 7 in a row on the CT side of Train to come across the line and victorious in the first map. And they do it again. What was it, 12-6 down on Mirage? That's against all odds.
And they lost more rounds than they won in this best of 3.
That summarizes everything. I don't know why I had to point at you, but yes. I'm kind of a bit discombobulated right now.
We're excited.
I am. Yeah, sorry. I've got like adrenaline. I didn't even play. Like, my hands are probably still shaking a little bit. That was awesome. Very much enjoyed that.
We still have another game, Alex.
Yeah, we do. Okay. Okay, so there's another one coming up, guys. Don't panic. If you want more Counter-Strike, it's coming. And that is, of course, going to be Astralis taking on MIBR. I think we have to go to a break, guys. We need to go calm down. Tristan Sarantis is going to be steering the ship because I'm going to go and get my heart looked at by a Polish doctor somewhere in Katowice.
We need to check on Natu as well.
Yep, Natu. Is he alive?
God,
has he tweeted?
That would be amazing to have a check.
Tell me someone had a camera on that man during that comeback. We are taking a break. When we come back, MIBR versus Astralis. Who will face ENCE in the grand final of the Katowice Major? We find out after the break.